Mboje.
Mboje sase. Mboje sase.
Where do you come from? Hello, Justice. How are you doing?
I'm fine by the grace of God. I hope you are doing good.
Oh, I'm really doing well.
That's good.
Actually, I'm really happy to be here because it's been a while and we've been colleagues. I have seen your works and the bodies of work that you've produced along the years. And I think it keeps on developing. So this time with you here, it's very interesting and I would like to know how your experience has been so far. But for those out there, can you tell us about yourself?
My name is Justice Kwame Aboagye. I'm an artist. I had my art education in Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. That was where I started with my artistic practice. So basically, this is Aboagye, an artist. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. So after your education in Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, to me, I'm aware that you are in the studios of Amoako Boafo, and I know you are into other programs too with Dot.Ateliet, which is an establishment of Amoako Boafo. So let's delve into your artistic practice. Can you tell us about your inspiration, where you get your ideas for your work?
I'm inspired by everything around me, but if I'm trying to be specific, I'm really interested in currencies in general. I mean, currency as a whole, how currency is evolving, how it's changing. So there are interesting stuffs on our Ghanaian currency, especially with the old Ghanaian currency, which talks more about our cultural heritage, our history. I mean, it's interesting to know more about currency. So most of the time, I try to engage myself in the community in spaces like the market, I mean, public spaces in general, to know how these currencies are doing well in our economic system. So I'm inspired by all these areas around me.
That's very interesting. That's very interesting. And I understand that even to put it as currency expands the view, because in currency we have politics, we have the social aspect of the people, and we have even the political aspect of the people. Now let's look at the social aspect of people, where currency is used as a means of trade. Now, if it's a means of trade, people migrating from other places, coming down to where the economy is in its higher form, like the South, specifically Accra. Does this also reflect in your works, and how do you show them?
I'll say I'm open to my paintings. The fact that I allow myself for the materials to use me and not me using the materials. Imagine me using the materials. I'm going to be specific about certain things that I do.
Okay.
But allowing the materials to use me, it opens broader opportunities for me to explore more. So I don't really focus on one thing, but I understand how somebody would say, "This is my money." Like that question, "This is my money," forgetting that it is um, uh, um, uh, it's for everyone.
Yeah.
It's for the people in the country. Currency itself identifies the people in the country, or it identifies the country itself. So comparing your Ghanaian currency to maybe South African currency to dollar to other stuff, it all has the same ideology. So me being specific with the Ghanaian currency, I'm interested in the fact that these currencies used for trading, comments like how people say, "This is my currency, this is my money," as if they own the currency, not knowing if they go out to buy, they exchange it with something. It's more like barter trading. So it takes us back to how currency started, by barter trading, to cowries, to coins, to banknotes, and how it's even evolving to the digital means like the Ethereum, the Bitcoin, and stuff. So always I allow my work to be more like an archival piece.
Okay.
so that it keeps records of where I come from. I mean,
Okay.
because I'm using the Ghanaian currency.
Interesting.
So yeah.
Interesting. So your work shows the evolution of currency, just as you
Exactly.
said, from barter trading to the cowries and to current dispensation, the Bitcoin and the Ethereum.
Yeah.
I think that's very interesting because artworks tells us the history, or it keeps records of the history. Now, I was looking at the fact that I know you play with themes such as migration.
Yeah.
And I'm very particular about that because I think this becomes personal for you
Yeah, very
because
personal. I mean,
you are in Accra here
yeah.
and you were not born here.
No.
It is true practice that you came here.
Yeah.
So it means it is something like your story. It is personal for you migrating from the central part of Ghana and coming to Accra.
Yeah.
Can you tell us if this influences your themes in terms of migration?
I mean, everything that happens in my life is an influence to my practice. Not with me alone, but with friends as well. Imagine you moving from your house to the studio.
Yeah.
You've migrated. You
Interesting.
met a lot of interesting stuff on your way.
Yeah.
So I believe in movement.
Good.
I believe in changing. The fact that if I wouldn't necessarily focus on migration with my work, the process my work goes through is also migration for me.
Yeah.
So me moving from the central part of Ghana to the Ashantis to Ghana, it's more like my story.
Yeah.
But at the same time, how currencies also move, they migrate from one person to the other. I just play with all these things. So it's not necessarily focusing on the migration, but it's something I would say it's part of my process.
Oh, interesting. Wow. So, with your experience here, can you speak a little bit of Ga? Have you started learning to speak the Ga?
Yeah, I can speak a little.
Or can you say a word in Ga?
Oh, I know touch over.
Oh,
I
interesting.
know.
Touch with what does it mean? Myself, I'm not good with the Ga. So I guess you can explain it to me. So meaning, what's your name?
I want you to ask me something, then I'll
okay. Mboje.
Mboje something.
Meaning, where do you come from?
Please, I can't say it in that.
You can't say it in that. Never mind. So that was
how I know, like I'm fine.
Oh, okay. To your turn.
Your drum.
Oh, that's
basics, bro.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Bro, yeah.
Anyway, what direct message do you sort to convey with your artwork or your practice?
With my artwork, I try to put value, speak more about value and power, because most of the time I'm interested in using the working class as my models, and also people who move from their family to go and find something for themselves and cater for their family. And these people, I mean, put their dreams and ambitions on hold and focus on something, I mean, new to just get them going.
Yeah.
So I love to portray value, power, migration, identity. I mean, a whole lot. So it's more like a whole lot of things put in one pack. So when you get close to the work, you get to know more about culture, you get to know more about identity, nationalism, migration, and a whole lot.
Oh, yeah. Interesting. That's a really interesting thing that you have in there. So let's talk about your production. In what goes into your work production in terms of the materials, the tools, techniques, and things that you use in your work?
A lot goes into my process, a lot goes into my painting. The fact that I allow myself to be used by the material, I don't really have a process like this is what I do before I paint. Every artist would love to, I mean, research before painting or sketch before painting. But sometimes it's interesting you working in your community then you chance upon something like a material, an object, and you feel like it can connect with your painting.
Yeah.
So bringing these materials into the space with time, it brings meaning to what you do, and it changes the narrative about how you think about your work.
Yeah.
I believe that if you always think of doing your works in a particular manner, it takes time before it changes. But if you allow the works to be how they are supposed to come out, it brings interesting forms. So with my process, I'll say I sketch, I do collages,
Okay.
I do image transfer. I believe in printing.
Okay.
I believe in printing. I believe in layering. So these are my process. Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell us about the materials that you use in terms of the pigments,
Okay.
paint, or which paint do you use in your work?
I use both oil paint, acrylic paint, and sometimes enamel paint. These pigment gives different feel to the painting. Imagine having a space that is not big enough. I would go in for acrylic so that it
Yeah.
can dry fast.
Yeah.
Then I do whatever I have to do. But if I have the whole day and a bigger space, I go in for oils
Yeah.
because I feel like it's interesting to be adding layers over and
Over and
over and
over.
over and over again. So with the materials, I use um, oil paint, I use acrylic paint, I use enamel. I sometimes use oil, like cooking oil,
Cooking oil. Okay.
yes, to experiment on certain projects that I do. Then water-based pigment for my image transfer with silk screen.
Okay. I think I could see some kind of influence that you've gotten in your environment, especially in Accra, with different cultures, people coming down because of the economic hub that it is, people coming from the south, people coming from the east and the west to this southern parts. This hybridity that they have in the culture, I think, shows in your work the way you use oil paint, acrylic paint, enamel, and different materials. So talking about shows, are we expecting any show from you? Do you have any plan in mind? Do you have any project that you are working on currently?
I have a lot of projects, but there's a but.
Yeah,
I I am holding on to it because of one or two reasons which I can't put them out here.
sure.
But I'm working towards shows, I mean group shows, solo shows, and also applying for residencies and other art competitions. So there is a lot of plan in a box,
Yeah,
but I need somebody to help me to open the box.
open them. Interesting.
Exactly.
Interesting. Um, it has been nice talking to you. Trust me. As I said, we go way back,
Way
but
back, bro.
I have seen that your work has really developed, and I've got the chance to know how your practice has been influenced after the university,
Yeah.
Kwame Nkrumah University
Yeah.
of Science and Technology. So, as an artist, is there anything you'd like to put out there as we finish this conversation?
Yeah. I would love the young and upcoming artists to try and engage with their community because I feel like there is more art in our community spaces. The fact that you are able to be commissioned to make paintings on school buildings, in churches, you are trying to add impact to the community. Directly or indirectly, you begin to learn from the community. Do you
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? You help the young ones, I mean kids in JHS primary to also have the interest to do art because in Ghana now people don't really pay attention
Attention
to
to
art.
art.
They see
That's
art
good.
to be nothing. The moment people hear, are you an artist? They think of, can you draw me? Can you paint me?
Yeah.
No, it goes way beyond that.
Interesting.
And you need to be focused. You need to be strong enough to carry it upon yourself that you you are an artist. You want to be an artist, or you are an artist, because there is a lot to do when you're an artist. I personally know that me being an artist, I am a teacher, I'm a pastor, I'm an engineer, a lot of things, because the way these materials that I use pushes me into different spaces to explore more with the material. It's more like I already had a background in carpentry, engineering, and other stuff. So the little advice that I'll give the artists in general, then the young ones out there, is that just be consistent. Consistency is a key. Then be strong. Believe in what you are doing, and you get there.
Thank you very much. And I think it wouldn't have been complete without you mentioning about mentorship.
Yeah.
And I think I told you we were ending the conversation, but I think this will be an icing on the cake.
Exactly.
What are some of the challenges that you faced as an artist in Ghana, and what do you think will help artists coming up in Ghana to also have a successful career?
Oh, the challenges are a lot, but I would love to highlight on ones that we can pay attention to,
Yeah,
then tackle it from the roots,
sure.
so that the young ones coming are not going to suffer like that.
Yeah.
I feel like the narrative about art in our senior high school should be changed in a way that we are really interested in perfection,
Yeah.
in realism. We need to break away from those things. We need to allow them to explore more on what they can do.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean take brush and paint and pigment to paint, but it could be storytelling, it could be poetry. We should just break away from perfection, then allow them to do what they have to do. It's interesting if you are no good and you doing something related to art. It comes out to be unique than you knowing the rules that this is light tone, mid tone, and dark tone.
Yeah.
You need to play along with these things. You need to think of proportion. You need to think of accuracy. It's worrying some of us.
Yeah.
We are trying to unlearn, but yes, still you find traces of these thoughts in our paintings. So I would love the education service or anyone who can help with our secondary education, for them to just simplify things for them. When it comes to how do you call it, education wise, I know there is a standard.
Yeah.
They can still find a way for them to meet that standard, but they need to break away from accuracy, perfection, and other stuff, so that it can help all of us to grow the Ghanaian art scene.
Interesting. Yeah. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Too.
And we are hoping to see more from you. It's been nice meeting you.
Thank you.
Have a nice day, you all. Bye.
Bye.